Okay, welcome everyone. We're excited to see you next week at the Symposium in Park City, Utah. And I'm excited to just share some information so you feel like you are ready to make the trip and you know what you're expecting. So just a quick overview of what we will talk about. We're going to talk about Coriel, who will be at the conference, the accommodations at the Grand Summit Hotel, the schedule of meetings, and the conference agenda and app, as well as the kids camp and NAC and how all of that's set up, and then Tuesday morning farewells and the schedule for that. So keep in mind there is a Q&A at the bottom of your screen. So whenever you think of a question, just throw it in there because we are going to do a Q&A at the end of this presentation. So, and this is a picture of the Grand Summit right here and the beautiful green hills behind it. Coriel is going to be at the conference. If you are interested in donating blood during the conference, they will have a private room with a phlebotomist who will be taking samples based on signups. So you'll want to contact Kim right here, kim@creatineinfo.org, and let her know that you're interested. This is for patients with a CCDS and their parents. So please reach out if you're interested in doing that. You can also reach out if you would rather not do it during the conference, but you want want the collection kit sent to your home. So if you are flying into Salt Lake City Airport, a few things to note. You are going to be asking to be taken to the Grand Summit in Park City. The address is right here. It's 4000 Canyons Resort Drive. It's about 35 minutes from the airport. And we did a little research and it looks like the best pricing and availability is to use an Uber, Lyft, or taxi. There is not a shuttle for the hotel. When you get to the airport, the baggage claim and the departures, as in like the Ubers and Lyfts, or if someone's picking you up, are all down on the lower level. So you'll walk out of your airplane and you'll need to go down a set of escalators and go out on the ground level. And then actually Uber and Lyft, you'll have to go to a further curb. It's not right there at the door. And there's big signs that you can look for to know where to meet your ride. If you require any special accommodations, please remember to reach out to us and give us a heads up so that we can help you out. You can reach out to myself. It's Heidi@creatineinfo.org or Faith@creatineinfo.org. We can both help you. If you're driving to Salt Lake City or you're driving from the airport yourself, there is free parking at the Grand Summit for one vehicle per room. This is a front view of the Grand Summit. There's a driveway. You'll drive around and come under this covered area, and then hotel staff will help you out. So just to clarify, the accommodations, our conference rate is during the evenings of the 25th, 26th, and 27th, but it is also applied 3 nights before and 3 nights after. ACD is supplementing the family's rooms during just those 3 nights, the 25th, 26th, and 27th. So if you've decided to stay a little early or a little late, you will be paying the full rate during the other nights. If you have any questions about that, reach out. You should have gotten an email from myself or Bree telling you what nights we have you down for and what to expect to pay. Everyone will need to check in with a credit card, and any incidentals like room service will be charged to your credit card, as well as the $100 per night during those conference nights. If you're a PCORI parent, part of that project, I have talked to you separately about arrangements as well. But if there's any questions, please reach out. So this is a map of the hotel. And like I showed right here, this covered area and the circular drive, you can see it on the map here. This is driving up the mountain, going around the circular drive, pulling in this covered area. That's the main entrance. You'll come into a lobby. We will have a little sign with an arrow to the left to go to the conference. This is the large Grand Ballroom or Kokopelli Ballroom, where we'll be having our meetings and eating our meals. And over here, the cabin and the cabin boardroom are for the in-hotel kids camp. This small room here is where Coriel will be set up and will help you out, help you find all these things when you get to the conference. Also, when you first get there, we will have a table set up here where we'll be registering people and giving you your badges and materials. So here's a picture of the lobby as you walk in. To the right over here is the check-in desk. And like I mentioned, this way is going to be where the kids camp is, and down this long hall to the left is where we are. There are stairs going up here to this higher level where you can walk out the back of the resort and you're in their little village, their little ski village. It's got big grassy areas and some little shops and stuff, and a little place to eat if you want to go up there. On Saturday, please take note of a change. We were going to have registration and appetizers, but our good friends at Ultragenics agreed to sponsor a dinner that evening. So we will be serving dinner Saturday, June 25th at 6 o'clock. I'll be sending out a survey to find out which meals you can attend so we get that head count correct. The registration with ACD staff giving you your materials is going to be open from 4 to 8. So hopefully that works for you. If not, you can see us the next morning at the beginning of the conference to get your check-in materials. And then again, PCORI parents, if you are part of that, we'll start meeting at 3:30 to 6. In the welcome packets that we'll give you with registration, you'll have your name badges, and then you'll have information on Park City and Salt Lake. So if you are staying late and looking for some fun activities, this is a snapshot from Utah Olympic Park, which is about a 15-minute drive from the hotel. There's also the Alpine Sled and Coaster. There's some great drives that you can go on if you have a rental car. The Mirror Lake Loop is beautiful. You can be up in the mountains and seeing big lakes and mountains and the Utah scenery just a few minutes away. There's a great train ride that kids love to go on, the Heber Creeper, that's about 15 minutes or so away. And also, if you want to go on a nice drive between Salt Lake and Park City, you can skip the freeway and you can take the Guardsman's Pass. So during the conference, and even right now, if you want to get out your phone and scan this QR code, it will help you to download the conference app. We'll be using this conference app. It will look like this in your phone. The app on the App Store is called Yap, and it looks like this. And you'll see down at the bottom, there's a schedule, so you can see what's going on all of the time. There's a news feed. That's where we'll post announcements like dinner's about to start, or we know the kids have arrived back from kids camp. So make sure that you allow notifications from this app while you're at the conference. There'll also be a Twitter feed in here. And that Twitter feed is watching for these hashtags. So if you want to tweet about the conference, go for it and make sure you use these hashtags, and the rest of the attendees will see this, as well as the people that are at home. If you want to go to the Yap app manually, not with the QR code, here's the URL. It's my.yap.us/CCDS 2022. So hopefully you all had a second to scan that, but if you didn't, we'll put this material in your welcome bag as well. One thing to mention ahead of the big trip and traveling with our kiddos is we just released our first podcast, and it's all about traveling with kids with a CCDS, and some great tips on how to divide and conquer and make it a positive and memorable experience with your kids. You can find the ACD podcast Ramblin' Rare on all of the major platforms. And if you have a platform you love that we didn't put it on, let me know. So our schedule. This is an actual image from inside of the Kokopelli Ballroom. We'll be meeting in here for breakfast in the morning at 7 o'clock. So breakfasts are kind of early, 7 to 8 every day. And then from 8 to 8:30, we will be taking our kids to the kids camp. And then we'll start with presentations from 8:30 to noon. We'll have lunch, and then 1 to 4, general session again. The kids will be at the kids camp from 8 to 5. If your children are at the hotel kids camp, you can go down there to the cabin and check in on them if you want to, take them their medicine if you needed to do that. Of course, the fewer interruptions, probably the more calm all the kids will be if they can forget about mom and dad a little, but you are welcome to go down there and check in on them. The kids will have lunch down there. They won't be coming out for lunches. And so hopefully that'll just make transitions smoother for everybody. At 4 o'clock, we have our family session each day. And the first day we're going to hear from Chris Nickick. Chris is right here. He is the first person with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman, and he's awesome. It's going to be a really inspiring talk. So if you're getting tired, please, stick it out. It's going to be worth the while to hear from Chris. And then at 6 o'clock, we will have a little break from 5 to 6. We'll pick up our kids at 5. At 6 o'clock, we'll meet for dinner that night on Sunday. It's our superheroes dinner. The kids are all going to get capes. There's going to be music and balloon artists and a photo booth and a buffet dinner with options for kids. So if they don't like adult taste, that's fine. We'll have lots of choices. On Monday, we have a similar schedule, and we end the day hearing from Sarah Buchanan from the Carmen B. Pingree School in Salt Lake City. That's an amazing school. Parents that are able to get their kids in there are very, very fortunate. And Sarah is one of the leads there, and we believe it's going to be an awesome presentation. So again, hopefully worth sticking around for. We'll have a break again, pick up our kids, and then we'll have our awards dinner the last night. And just a few things to note about the awards dinner. There will be drink tickets provided to every adult when they check in at registration, and you can use those tickets on Sunday or Monday, and they can be used for beer, wine, or soda. And if you are getting beer or wine, you will be asked to show your photo ID. So just a heads up to bring that with you. Also, since COVID, they've switched from being a cash bar to being a credit card bar. So if you would like additional drinks, be sure to have a credit card with you to buy those additional drinks. The drinks both nights do start at 5:30, and then the dinners start at 6. And this dinner, we will have awards presented, a slideshow of the last 2 days. You'll get to see pictures of what your kids were doing in the hotel kids camp and the NAC as well. And then we'll enjoy a live band. So Kids Camp. Kids Camp is provided by Mother Goose of Utah. The director's name is Jill. And if your children are participating in either hotel or NAC Kids Camp, you should have received an intake form and submitted that. So Jill knows all about the needs of your child and has staffed appropriately. If you happen to have not done that, please reach out as soon as possible. We will be giving all of the kids t-shirts to wear on Sunday and Monday. And we will provide this information again in your welcome bag, but I will tell you now, we're going to do orange shirts and teal. And we'd like all the kids to wear orange first and then teal on the second day, on Monday. So the kids camp on site, like I said, is provided by Jill with Mother Goose. We do have some hours on Saturday afternoon just for those Pecori families that need it to be able to attend the meetings, but they'll have movies in there, and the separate little room, the boardroom, will be for the younger kids that might need a nap. They'll have arts and crafts and video games and snacks and movies and just lots of fun. So the NAC, or National Ability Center, hopefully you've heard of them by now. They are also a nonprofit. They're about 10 minutes away from the hotel. They will be providing the transportation from the hotel to the NAC and back. And you should have filled out a consent form for the NAC. And if you haven't, you'll need to do that before they will allow your children on the bus to be transported and to attend. So reach out if you haven't gotten that information yet, but you should have gotten that from Jill. What they'll be doing while they're at the NAC. On Sunday, they will be doing the challenge course. You can see here, cycling and archery, and they'll be rotating stations, and then they'll do pickleball and indoor climbing in the afternoon. And just to mention, everything that they do at the NAC, they have accommodations so that anyone with any abilities and whatever ability level will be able to participate. So they have a lot of different bikes. They have a lot of equipment for this challenge course. It is restricted to 8 and older, but all ability levels are welcome here, and they're well staffed, as well as Jill is providing staff. So the staffing is about 1 caregiver to 2 kids, and that includes all the kids of all abilities. So there's really good coverage and care during both kids camp opportunities. The second day, there will be archery and cycling, and then team building and indoor climbing. And there'll be some hikes mixed in here, and arts and crafts at the NAC as well. And the NAC is very tucked away from traffic and buildings and people. They have a big property they call the ranch, and they're just really close to the Park City Hospital. So if that makes you feel any better, they're really close to a hospital, and they're far away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And then the last day, as everyone's checking out, we do have a breakfast available in the cabin. So we'll be eating all weekend long over here in the Kokopelli, and our kids will be in the cabin. But for breakfast that last day, we'll be eating in the cabin, and it will be an 1.5-hour window. You can drop in whenever you want to. And the pool will plan on seeing people between 9:30 and noon. And that just depends on when your flight is. We know people will come and go, and some people won't be able to make it, but we wanted one last chance to have a little social time with everyone. The hotel checkout is 11 a.m., but they have said that if you request a later checkout, they will give you noon for sure. And then beyond that, if you needed 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, it would be upon availability, and it may be at a charge. If you want to stay later than 2, they'll want you to book another night's stay. So options, if that isn't convenient for you and you really want to get the most out of the pool time, is you can leave your luggage with the front desk for no fee. And they have a really great pool house right by the pool that has lockers and showers and private bathrooms and everything. So you could go into one of those and get ready and then grab your luggage from the front desk if that was something you wanted to do. So I'm going to try to answer questions proactively, but hopefully you guys are posting in the Q&A right now. What's the attire? Well, we want you to be comfortable, and we have kids and they're going to be worn out. And so we don't want anyone to feel like they have to dress up. We're saying business casual / casual. If there was one time that you may want to dress up a little, I would say it's the awards night. But again, there's no pressure to be, fancy or put your kids through any stress. So come as you are, and we're just going to be happy to see you. What's the weather going to be like? Don't panic when you get off the airplane in Salt Lake City. It's going to be hotter. It's going to be around 92 in the valley, but up in Park City, it's a good 10 degrees cooler. So it's going to be 82 is the last I saw, which is 28 degrees Celsius. So not too hot, but not too cold. Hopefully it's comfortable for everybody. Will there be social time? So in the 2018 conference, some of the feedback was we would have liked to have hung out and talked with other families a little more. It was such a busy schedule. So there is some more social time built in. In the afternoons, right before those 4 o'clock sessions, there's a long coffee break with some social games built in. And this is for families and doctors and industry and everyone to stay and participate, get to know each other, and have some open conversations. The content in the talks, is it family friendly or is it really scientific? it's going to vary a little. I would say in the morning and early afternoon, it is going to lean a little towards heavy scientific. We want these researchers to get together and talk about their research and really learn from each other. But we also want to learn alongside them. So there are nice Q&A sessions after every session of speakers where you'll be able to stand up and ask questions. No question is a bad question. So if there's something that's, confusing, a little too technical or something you never heard of, stand up and ask, because probably everyone has the same question as you. Dietary restrictions. If you noted a dietary restriction, the chef will take that into account. Specifically for vegetarian and vegan requests, there likely we will not have something that's compatible at the dinners. And so they are going to make you a special plate and bring it to you. So there we will cover all dietary restrictions. If you have dietary restrictions that you forgot to mention when you registered, please reach out as soon as possible, as our menu is finalized as of Monday. For gluten-free, dairy-free type of restrictions, they are going to label the different items on the dinner so that you can choose which ones are appropriate for you. One last question has been about, is there virtual attendance? What about the people that couldn't come with me? Or are there recordings? We are not going to be able to accommodate virtual attendees and live attendees at the same time. So we are recording all sessions. There are a couple of speakers that would like to not be recorded, and they are the exception to that rule, but everyone else will record and will post on Facebook as soon as we can after the conference. And those that didn't make it will be able to watch all of these sessions at their leisure and ask questions in the community, in the chat on Facebook and whatnot. So hopefully this will satisfy everyone. And now I'm going to ask Faith what questions have come in.
All right, so we have two questions. The first is, how far is it to any grocery stores?
That's a good question. So we're at the Canyons Resort. You can Google this and Google the website. It's not way out in the boonies or anything. It's just kind of along the edge of the valley. I don't have a good perspective of where I'm looking in this valley, but it's just up the hill a little, like a quarter of a mile, maybe. So there are lots of shops and places throughout the valley. I don't know that it would be walking distance, but you could certainly have things delivered really easily, or you could take an Uber for probably $5 or $10 to get to somewhere if that was what you were hoping for.
All right, so a second question is, how do we get info on where our kids were assigned for kids camp, NAC or kids camp at the hotel?
We honored exactly what everyone asked for. So if on your registration, you said, I would like NAC morning only, that's where your child is. They're going to go to the National Ability Center on the bus. They're going to eat their lunch there, and then they're going to come back and spend the afternoon at the hotel. The people who said they'd like NAC all day, their kids are going to be there all day. And then the people who said, I want the hotel only, that's what we did. So it's exactly what everyone asked for. But if you are unsure and maybe you can't remember what you asked for, just shoot me an email and I will let you know what we've got you down for.
All right, we have one more question, Heidi. It is, will the recordings only be posted on Facebook, or will they also be posted to YouTube?
They will actually only be posted on YouTube. I'm sorry if I misspoke, but they'll be posted on YouTube, and we will feature them in social media links that we send out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but they will be hosted on YouTube. We will have a web page on the website that is symposiums, and then we're going to list each symposium. We're in the middle of changing this page right now. We're going to list each year's symposium so you can quickly click on there to find them on YouTube, but they are hosted on YouTube. All right. Well, here's another beautiful view of where we'll be from the back of the resort. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And if you want to reach out and you have any questions or concerns, just email Faith or myself and we'll get right back to you. So we'll see you soon in Park City. Have a good week.